everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and our 4-year look back. If you've been following my channel for any length of time, you know on every Saturday for the last 6.5 years, I put out a video where we look back at hot comics from 6 months previously and see how they're doing in the market, what factors were affecting them, how they responded to those. Throughout, from day one, people have asked me to do other time periods. And finally this year, I have started doing a 4-year look back. Why 4 years? Because that's how long I got actually good records of what was happening back then. So we're doing a 4-year look back, but we're not doing every week's worth of books. We're not doing all the books that were on the list. We're doing 15 books that I picked that I have some interest in that appeared on the list during October of 2021. And we're looking back 4 years later to see how they're doing now. I think I do an okay job of spreading it out in terms of different factors, covers, movie buzz, Marvel movie buzz, comic buzz, of trying to get a variety of books in here. As always, these did originally come from the CBSI Hot Top 10 and the Comic Tom Key Collector Hottest Trending Comics of the Week. Also, obviously, 2021, we were still in the comic boom, so that has some effect on what's going on here, but not a lot. If you look at some of these books, they're more affected just by what else has happened in the market since then. So we got 15 books we're going to talk about from October of 2021. Let's dig in and see what we can learn this month. First, we're on the wrong end of the slides. My bad. Let's scroll up here real quick. Yeah, first up, we got Youngblood, number 2, first appearance of Prophet. And this is hitting the list because Jake Gyllenhaal was attached. Supposedly there's going to be some sort of Prophet movie project, something with Jake Gyllenhaal attached. That was 4 years ago. We've heard nothing. But back then, it was $10 to $25 for this highly printed book, 9.8, 3 to 400. By 6 months later, it was a trap, and now it's a dumpster fire, 5 to 15, 70 to 100. No reason to have chased this book back then. Yeah, there's a lot of these. You can find these in back issue bins. No reason to have went after Prophet. Next, we have Uncharted number 1 from 2012, the first comic for the video game, and the movie was finally coming out. We did get this movie with was it Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland, and yeah, it didn't seem to really move the needle a whole lot. $60+ back then for raw copies. By 6 months later, it was 20 to 30. That 9.6 should have been deleted. That is not a correct sale. My bad. So that's a typo again. But October of this year, $10 to $50. So down in a trap. No reason to really have chased this book. There are some decent sales going up toward the $50 range, but for the most part, no reason to have went after this book. Next, we have Dune number 1 from 1985. This is when the first Dune movie was coming out. $25 back then, 9.8 going for $300 to $600. Now it's by 6 months later, it was a $10 to $25 book. 9.8 still around 500. So pretty little down on the raw side, but overall, just because that was the majority of the sales, the raw side was down a little bit. That's why I did down, and I'll be back. 9.8s were still very steady. Now it's down on both sides, 5 to 20, 185 to 200, down in a dumpster fire. We've gotten Dune 2 since then. Dune 3 they're working on, but yeah, this book is back way up. Next, we have Invincible number 1 from 2021. This is the Tyler Kirkham Whatnot reprints with the Tyler Kirkham covers. Obviously, this is the first one. We got another one with Omni-Man. We got another one with Adam Eve. I think eventually we got a Battle Beast one, I think. So, yeah, we got several of these over the years. This was the first one. Raw copies were going for $400. By April, it was a $200 to $300 book. 9.8 going for $7. Now it's a $160 book, which is still pretty good this much later for a reprint. $275 to $400. So it's still down in a dumpster fire, though, because like 9.8s are going for less than that raw copies were back then. But still, any kind of reprint that goes for this kind of value is big money. It just wasn't, the craziness at the beginning was not worth it. It was worth taking your time and being patient. Next, we have Department of Truth number 13, the Jordan Javin NYCC variant. We decided to throw in at least one NYCC variant here. Back then, this one was a hot NYCC variant going for $100. By the next spring, it was still very steady and worth it and looked like, hey, this is maybe going to have some legs. Only one recent sale here, $130 for Signature Series 9.8. That's definitely down in a trap. No reason to have chased this book back then. Although not a ton of them for sale, but still prices not nearly what they were back then. Next, we have Catwoman number 35, the Kale Nguyen 1 in 25. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name. It's NGU. This one I was super interested when I saw it on the list this time, because I had looked for this book. This is one I kind of wanted, and I was like, I should go back and get this one 6-8 months ago. Could not find one. So I looked again. It was raw copies were 50 to 60 back then. It was an up and worth it, almost up and straight cash book. 6 months later, and still can't find one. No listings, no sales, nothing. This book has become a ghost. So we're still putting it as up and worth it. Like, my guess is it'll go for pretty big money. I'm a little surprised. I had no idea this one had become such a ghost, but no sales, no listings. And that was the same case when I looked, I'm going to say back in like December of last year, or no, back in the spring of last year. So it'd been in like maybe March-ish that I was looking for this book. Yeah, whenever it was, I was doing those Catwoman cover things. I was like, that's a cover I'd really like. Could not find it. So this appears to have become a definite ghost. Next, we have Wonder Woman Black and Gold, the Rose Besh 1 in 25. $85 to $100 right out the gate, which usually is a really good sign for a 1 in 25. By 6 months later, it was $150 to $200, $300 to $450 for a 9.8. Now, it has backed up some. Raw copies, 115 to 125. No recent 9.8 sales. But yeah, still up compared to what it was at original pricing hitting the list. Down a little bit from the 6 month price. But this is the one that's still doing really well. So we actually got 2 in a row that are kind of up. Pretty rare for this on this 4-year look back that we've been doing so far. All right, next we have We Live, number 1. This was the hot comic. It was nominated for an Eisner. When it was putting it back on the list. There was rumors of Option News. I think it was getting a sequel. We knew it was going to get a little bit of a sequel comic. $25, 9.8, 120. Everybody loved this book. By April of that year, it was a $30 to $40 book raw, 9.8, 70 to 100. And now everyone's forgotten this book exists. $5, $10 to $40 for recent 9.8s. Yeah, if you love the series and now it's a great time to go get some copies because it is a very, very cheap book right now. All right, next we got Earth 2, number 19. I don't know how many of you remember this, but there was all those rumors about Michael B. Jordan getting his own Superman movie. And so first appearance of Val Zod as a potential character that he would play, a potential version of Superman he would play. Raw copy 75, 9.83 to $600 back then when these rumors were going around. 6 months later, people were still betting on it, $50 to $100, 9.84 to $500 with an outlier sale up to $900. Yeah, none of that came to fruition. All of this seems to have not happened. $8 to $12, 9.8, 1 to 150. Ouch. If you tried to invest to get in on this when all the rumors were going on, that one hurts. That one definitely hurts. Next, we have Shazam, number 28. The first modern appearance or Bronze Age appearance of Black Adam. First time he'd appeared since the Golden Age. This was we got the teaser, but we still hadn't even got the trailer for Black Adam movie. So just gives you how long 4 years ago was. We had not gotten the Black Adam movie yet. Back then, a 9.8 hit an all-time high of $7,000. A 9.2 hit an all-time high of $1,300. By 6 months later, it was definitely down. 100 to 100, 500 for Raws. 9.2 800. So about a third of the value gone on that 9.2. By now, $20 to $130 on recent Raw sales. Although it wasn't a really super high grade sold, but a 9.2 for only $300. Yeah, this book is way, 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 way down for sure. Next, we got Incredible Hulk, number 449, first appearance of Thunderbolts. And we were getting rumors we were getting a Thunderbolts movie. Yeah, people were betting on this. So this was well before we got the Thunderbolts movie. Obviously, we had the actors strike and everything else that set that movie, delayed that movie. We didn't get it till this year. But yeah, $150 for raw copies, 9.8, 840. 6 months later, 50 to 200, 5 to 600 for 9.8. Still doing really well. Now, after the movie was pretty well received, but it really wasn't this team, even though they used that name. My cat's attacking a box that's next to me. Raw copies 30 to 75, 9.8, 150 to 200. I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was really good, but yeah, it is not sustaining this book at all. Down in a dumpster fire for sure. Next, we have Captain Marvel number 27. If you don't know what's going on there, this is the first appearance of Eros. Later, Star Fox, who appeared right at the end in a cameo in the Eternals movie. I don't know if we knew. I think the movie had just come out, because it was November. It would have been November, so it just come out. So yeah, we knew Star Fox appeared kind of in the post-credit scene for Eternals, or one of the scenes for Eternals. $125 back then for raw copies. 6 months later, it was still a $20 to $120 book. There's been no movement on Eternals ever since. Now it's a $10 to $90 book, down in a dumpster or down in a trap. No reason to have chased this because it doesn't look like anything's going to happen with it. Next, we have Bloodstone number 1, first appearance of Elsa Bloodstone. This was, I think, so this is not the year that we got the Werewolf by Night Halloween special that she appeared in. I think this was the lead up that we knew we were going to get. They were talking about it. They were going to use her because raw copies were $350, 9.8 where it's $800. By the next spring, when we knew we were getting that show for sure, and we thought she was a part of it, it was $125 to $400 for raw, 9.8, $700 to $1,000. The show has come and went. Another character they haven't reused, another part of the universe they haven't went back to. Even though I really enjoyed the actress that played this character in that Werewolf by Night special. I really enjoyed that special. But $50 to $100 now, 9.8, $275 to $325. Still pretty good value for a character that's kind of this, not really a mainstream Marvel character. These are still pretty good values, just nowhere near the craziness people were paying when we thought we were getting her in the MCU, which we did, and it still didn't hold up. That's pretty much a pattern. we think we're going to get a character, we go crazy, we get them, and then it doesn't matter. The prices plummet. Next, we have Captain Marvel number 17, first appearance of Phi Lavelle. This was just rumors that she might appear in Guardians 3. She did, sort of. A version of her did. Raw copies back then, $125. By 6 months later, $30 to $100 for raw. 9.6 was $150 to $170. Now a 9.8 is $30 to $40 down in a dumpster fire. She really didn't make any kind of imprint. No reason to have chased this book. And then last book, we got Fantastic Four number 66, Origin of Him. He's not actually seen, but this is the first kind of mention of him we get. Raw copies 500, 9.8 went for $20,000. We knew we were getting him in Guardians 3. 6 months later, Raws were 40 to 300. 9.2 was the highest graded sale around that time. It's 2,000, but definitely down. Then now $20 to $100 for recent Raw sales. 8.5, 190. Down in dumpster fire. No real interest in him at this point. Will Poulter was in the role. I don't know that people were super pleased with how they portrayed him. But yeah, he was in another character, made it to the MCU, and still the books have plummeted. So that is our list. Let me get rid of this. And yeah, so those are our 15 books from 4 years later. Still a ton of dumpster fires. The vast majority of everything's a dumpster fire. Part of that is obviously the comic boom, but part of that is just MCU and everything else. There were a couple of up books this week. I think we had an up book last month. We had 2 up books this month. So maybe we're starting to get a little better here. We'll see. Maybe I just picked different books this time. Who knows? Quick shout out to my members. I want to thank them for supporting the channel, keeping this going. Really appreciate them. And with that, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you next time. Later.